Hello everyone, my name is Theodore and I am a graphic and web designer. Now I want to go over my programs with you and I'm going to start off with Adobe Illustrator. I am going to go over some other programs in future video like Photoshop, and I'm going to do some web design, basic HTML and CSS videos. And so I want to just go over the basics of Adobe Illustrator in this video and kind of just explain how to use it. I'm going to go a little more advanced in the program in future videos, but for now we're going to keep things nice and basic so that you can follow along. And I pretty much use Adobe Illustrator every day, and when you first get into the program, there's a lot of tools and it's easy to get overwhelmed. I still don't know all the tools. There's always things that I'm still learning even after using the program for a couple of years. And it's a vector based program, so you're working with, like, if you create a logo or something, it'd be more vector shapes within the program, and I will kind of explain it a little more as we go through the video. But let's just dive right in and kind of get started here. Okay, so here is, as you see, this is Adobe Illustrator, and this is me just opening up the program, and you see a bunch of tools on the left side. These tools on the left side are the tools that you are going to be using mostly. There's a lot of shortcuts that you can use, but for now, let's go ahead and start up something, and then maybe we can go ahead and sketch. We can draw something. So if you want to start a new artboard, go to File, and you can click New. There's a shortcut, Control plus N. Or you can go ahead and open it up. And here you have a bunch of different options. You can do it with, A4, print. And, normally I just start off with the A4 when I start something, because when you're in your program, you can change the artboard. You can make it bigger or smaller, and I will go over that a little bit later. You can also download some mobile templates here that they have the option. I haven't downloaded them yet, but maybe I'll download them in a future video. They have mobile web templates and print templates and film and videos, as well as some arts and illustration. So now over here you can change the name of your project, and you can change the width and the heights of it. You can change it whether it's got points, all the way to pixels. And normally I work with pixels or inches. Sometimes I work in inches, but most projects I do it in pixels. And you can change the orientation of it and how many artboards that you want. You can have a lot of artboards. You can have one or two artboards. Doesn't really. I mean, what the artboards is like. Each artboard you can save as a separate image. So say if you're working on two images in one file, you're gonna want two artboards, so that, like, if you're working on, I don't know, two different scenes for a project, and you just want to save them completely separately, so you have two artboards, and then you can export it as a JPEG or PNG or a GIF into your desktop, and then it will save it as two separate images. So I'm going to go ahead and create this. I'm going to save the title later. And so this is just telling me that a new update is available. So we're going to say remind me later. We'll update that later. Okay, so this is our artboard that we have, and we, on the right over here, we got the layers. Okay, so the layers is basically what you can, it goes by separate layers. So if you are drawing a person, for example, and you draw the head, you may want to have a layer named head so that you can, just have that as its own separate layer. You can have a layer named, body or legs and feet, or you can have named like, the clothes, the color of the clothes. So most people let you have their colors separated from the outline of the image so that they can easily change it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do something very simple for this first video, just to kind of get our feet wet with kind of these tutorials here. I want to go over just the basics of these over here. So this is the tool, this is a zoom tool where you can zoom in to the artboard, and if you hit Alt on your keyboard, you can zoom out of your program as well. And so basically we're going to go ahead and start with the pen tool to draw something. The pen tool is over up here, which is also P on the keyboard. I'm really used to the keyboard shortcuts, but that's because I've been using this program for quite a while. And so we're going to go ahead and be using this. Let's go ahead and start off with drawing like a simple stick figure. And when we do a stick figure, we can go to the rectangle tool, and that is also with M on your keyboard. And if you see that some of these objects here, they got this little thing down here where that means if you hold it, you can see other options here. So we got the ellipse tool and star tool, and these are really good options if you want to start off with a basic head for for a person or whatever you're gonna draw, maybe a sun, who knows. But when you first start off with this, as you see, you want it to be a perfect circle. So if you hold down Shift on your keyboard, you can see that it makes it all nice and perfect, no matter what size. If you let go of Shift, it will go back and not make it a perfect circle. So we're going to go ahead and hold down Shift here, and we got the selection tool that we're going to select off of the circle. So we got a black outline here, right here. As you can see down here, you can change the color in this little area over here. You can change it to whatever color that you would like. You can change it to blue. You can give it a fill color. Let's make it like a green. And we're going to go ahead and make that. We're going to go to the layers, and let's call this the head of the person. Maybe we can make a monster or whatever. We'll see what we come up with. So we go ahead and use the pen tool again. Let's be a little creative and make a little bit of a monster and see what we can do here. So we're gonna go ahead and make some horns for the head here. And while we do that, let's go into so now if I want to make this horn a little bit taller, I will go ahead and use the direct selection tool. You can also hit, I believe, A on your keyboard, and with these little points here, you can go over one, and then just with your arrow keys on your keyboard, you can bring it up, or you can select it like that and kind of change it around. So we're going to go ahead and move this down here and just make it look nice. And we're going to go ahead and draw in a mouth here. Got to draw in a mouth. So what I think I'm going to do is take all these features. We're going to make the mouth and fill it in here. Let's take all these features and of the head, and we're going to go ahead and hit Control X, which copies it. make a new layer, and then Control V, which paste it, and then put it down here. And we're gonna go name this. Let's name this features, which will be the features, of the head here. And let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And okay, so we got this layer up here. We're gonna go ahead and we want the horns to be on the back of the head, so we're gonna go ahead and make it a separate layer over here and put it below the head. You can also, so you got it below here. You can also right click, go to, if it's on the same layer, you can right click and go to arrange, and you can bring it to front, bring it forward, send backwards, and send you back as well if you want to do it that way. Let's go ahead and name this the horns, and let's go ahead and make it a different color. Let's go ahead and make it we'll make it this color here, and let's go ahead and start off with some of the eyes here. We are on the horn, so let's create another layer that we're gonna call it eyes. I think I want to go back and features and just call this we'll call this the mouth here, since it is the mouth. So we're gonna go ahead and copy that, and by copying that you can do Control C and then Control V on the keyboard. And we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a nose. Let's go ahead and give this little monster red eyes here. Make him look a little more scary looking. So I am working on a Wacom tablet, and I have a brush which I can show you a little later, which I can draw directly onto the tablet. And we're going to go ahead and just quickly draw the body here. So we're going to use the brush tool, and the brush tool is good if you just want to, feel like you want to do something quick, or you want to put in more details into the drawing. And we're going to go ahead and just we're going to do something pretty quick here and straightforward for the body. So we got that, and then we're going to draw his legs here, and we're going to go ahead and draw the arms here. So we got our basic little monster here. Now, as you can see, his body is in front of his head, so we're going to go ahead and bring it in the back over here under layers, and let's go ahead and call it the body. So it's very important when you're working. So I'm just doing a quick little character here, but if you're working on a more detailed project, it's very important to keep your layers named accordingly so that you can easily know what you're doing. Sometimes I have to keep reminding myself to do that, and it's so easy to forget to keep naming your layers, but it is very important to do that if you are working on something more complicated than what we are working on over here. Now, sometimes I want to go back into this tool. Let's go ahead and do like the rounded tool and make some kind of floor for him. Let's go ahead and rename this floor. Or we'll make this like the shadow. We'll call this like the shadow here. Let's go ahead and make it kind of dark here, and we'll call this shadow. And okay, so this is what we got for our first project. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and save this as, just call this monster project. I'm going to save it to the desktop. Now I have a tutorial folder that I want to put these in under illustration. It's good to keep your folders also organized with these projects, because normally you'll grab in images from other sources keep them as inspiration, or you grab different parts of the images and, save the actual Illustrator file into a folder and just kind of keep it as organized as possible. Trust me when I say it's so easy to get not, you be not organized with this pretty fast. So it is best to, you know, to keep this as organized as you can. So I call this folder basic, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit save, and we got this little file here. Everything is just okay to leave it there. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit OK. Now you can go ahead and open it up here and see that under basic, this is the folder, the file right here. And so for now, that is going to be my first video on Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to go over more basic techniques. We're going to do some more of a more challenging, images, more drawings in the future. But for now, we're just getting our feet wet with this program. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in the next video.